please bear with me. I am jealous for you with the jealousy of God myself. For I promised you as a pure bride to one husband, Christ. So a pure bride, they're cheating on him. That's why he's talking about that. But I fear that some of you will be led away from your pure and simple devotion to Christ, just as Eve was deceived by the serpent. Gnosticism changes the story of Eve, Adam and Eve, and it turns Satan into the good guy. We'll get to that in just a minute. You seem to believe, here he goes, you seem to believe whatever anyone tells you, even if they preach a different what? Jesus. Then the one we preach, or a different spirit than the one you have received, or a different kind of gospel than the one you believed. So this wasn't anything new. Kanye West came out with a song, Jesus Walks. Not everybody who's talking about Jesus is talking about the same Jesus. We need to understand that. We have to be careful of that. Because that's one of the deceptions, one of the things why it's so important that we're sober and we're thinking clearly, is because it's a counterfeit. If I want to, the easiest way to fool you is to give you something that's counterfeit. I can't convince you that God doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do, because that's just stupid. God has to exist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a counterfeit. I'm going to manipulate the truth. You guys see that? And I'm going to make it look as close as it can to this, but a counterfeit will lead you the wrong way. We're almost done, you guys. For those that have to go to class. We are being exposed to Gnostic beliefs in all kinds of movements. Again, the Matrix. Do you guys see the Gnostic connection between it? Yeah. Truman Show. Think about it for a minute. How many people seen Truman Show? Okay, here it is. Truman is what? He's born where? In a lie. Gnosticism, again, teaches that it's all a lie. You're living a lie right now. What else would happen to Truman?
Everything was staged for him.
Everything was staged, so it was enslaving him. He was enslaved. It was keeping him bound from the truth, from the outside world. I'm just trying to show how this Gnosticism is all around us. V for Vendetta, again. All of these, one of the main things they have in common is it's all about rebelling against the order that's set up. Again, Gnosticism teaches that this material world, the order that God has set up, is evil. So thus, in order to break free from this evil, in order to get your awakening, you have to rebel against Jehovah. And so you have to rebel against the order that He set up. And so one of the main things they teach is to rebel against God. Live free, have as much sex as you like. Man, brothers, yeah! Sex, and you wanted money? Man, have it all. Whatever rules He set up, rebel against those. That's how you get your awakening. The lie. This is the main part I want you guys to write down, because you'll see this over and over again in all the different religions. Oh, not religions, I'm sorry. Or some religions, but occults and cults. Number one, somehow they'll teach that God is a liar. Again, you will see this within atheists. Because they'll say, well, no, God's lying. God didn't create the world. But what happened? There was a bang. I just love that one. There was a bang. Okay, well, where did the bang come from? Well, we don't know. Just, somehow the bang happened. So there's a bang. Matter of fact, after all of your wisdom, look at man's wisdom. After all of man's wisdom, and after all their tools and them getting together and putting their minds together, they came up with a bang. To me, it takes a farther stretch of imagination to believe that there is no God than to believe that there is a God. Just by looking at your bodies and how you're formed and how everything, just look at your eye, how complex your eye is. And you're going to tell me there isn't a God? There is not a camera in this world that man has made, not a photo camera, that can match what our eye can do. And we have the best minds doing the best technology, and it can't match what your eye, just your one eye, can do. So the lie, one of the main things that Satan tries to get is he wants us to get any way he can do it. It doesn't matter who he'll use your mama, it doesn't matter. He wants to convince you that God is a liar. He's lying to you. Number two, what is wrong is right. Oh, we love this one. And that's that perversion. What is wrong is right. There's nothing really wrong with, you really don't have to marry her, man. I mean, as long as you like her and she like you and you're committed. If you're committed to one another, you don't really have to get married. If you're committed to one another, you're married in God's eyes. And they'll tell you all kinds of things. So that way, you're right, I really don't have to get married. Baby, we married. Yeah, we married, yeah. Well, why don't you go get the license? Well, because that's the system, and we don't want to, and I don't need to prove myself to the system and have a license. The license don't tell us, because we're in love. So let's have sex. Ladies, if you can have many times a brother told you he loved you, like, where he at now? I don't know where he at. Because that's not love. Love is sacrificial. Love is unconditional. Love ain't going anywhere. Anybody have any ladies or brother still with you that told you he loved you? Gone. Alright. So it changes what is wrong to right. Another part of the lie that you'll see in cults is we are God and can be God. Again, you will see this in almost every cult, is that you are God. And man, that just plays with our ego. Yeah, power. I want to be God. I mean, who doesn't want to be God? But we're not. God is holding us captives and keeping us from experiencing our liberties. He's holding us back. He just doesn't want me to live life. His rules are they're just too much. God just wants too much. Why is he oppressing me? We have to be careful because we'll be Christians and we'll speak these things. You've got to be careful what you're speaking because this is part of the lie that the enemy uses, and you'll see it. Just think about, look at these things right here. Oh, let me do this last one. Through knowledge and rebellion, we can free ourselves. So just rebel. You'll see this. Just think about most movies. Let's just do TV shows. How many watch TV? You ready to watch TV? Okay, let's just think of most sitcoms and TV shows, especially with all the reality TV. Do you see these somewhere in there? I'll give you one example. That's So Raven. Everybody ever seen That's So Raven? Almost every episode, she's coming up with a scheme to lie and to do something